fun to do bad things, but I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friends.
17 members and associates of the Hells Angels are facing criminal charges in a violent attack.
Federal agents allege the outlaws sold drugs, traded firearms, and engaged in insurance fraud and even tampered with government witnesses.
We have learned there is cell phone video as well as surveillance video of evidence in this attack.
The U.S. Attorney characterized today's raids as historic, the largest federal bust on organized criminal gang activity.
Retaliation is common for crimes involving biker gangs. However, it could happen anywhere because of how interconnected gangs have become nationwide.
The 3-year investigation resulted in 42 federal indictments on a variety of charges, including racketeering, money laundering, drugs, gambling, insurance fraud, and extortion.
There's a bunch of bikers up here, and they're shooting guns and stuff. I need the police now.
But on foot going towards 2nd Street. Okay, receive.
Then you see a pack of Hells Angels going by, people are going to want to look. Next thing you know, cars. Because they're just staring at us and not paying attention to stop traffic.
If you wanted to break the law on an everyday norm, you should have joined a street gang. That's what they're known for. That's what they do. You're not allowed to steal cars on my block. We steal those cars.
I mean, it was so bad by us in Vegas. I was in the pool swimming, and the guys came back. Hey, Pee-wee, the cops are here. They want to talk to you. I said, well, go talk to them. Find out what they want. And they came back. They go, they want to talk to you.
Typically, if you leave the club, if you haven't been in for 10 years, you're automatically out back.
Got put out in 2006. Back in 2007, wound up going into Cannon. 2011. Came out of there. I had 4.5 years to walk off with zero support from that club.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about what does 81 mean. A lot of people don't know what it means, and I didn't know what it meant at first before I started getting involved with all this. I had no clue what it meant. So we're going to talk about that, and we got a bunch of things to talk about. There has been a sighting of Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Timu Sisterhood have been sighted. And I got the video. We're going to talk about Jessica Kent, the YouTuber that got busted. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things. We're going to talk about the suspect that allegedly killed a woman and shot 2 officers, died after being in police custody. I wonder how that happened. This is the guy right here. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some motorcycle crashes that happened up in New Jersey. And I got a lot of shows coming up. Tonight is The Lighter Side of True Crime with Keith Rovere. He's the only podcaster that brings on serial killers actually go on his show. BTK and all kinds of different people. And I have footage from his shows in the interview, so you don't want to miss it. If you're a member, you can watch part 1 and part 2 now. I'm going to drop another part today, and it's pretty good. It's 7 parts, and it's a really good interview. But before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's, brother's, sister's friend about Chattin with Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. And I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch this show. Lindsay, how are you? Thank you for joining me today. 57 Straight Leg, what's good? Good afternoon. Frederick, Slow Ride. So Loud, what's good, man? Shout out to North Carolina. Jaman, Chris, how are you? Thank you guys. I appreciate it. So, and the Timu twins have a message for the Hells Angels. And this one's pretty wild. So let's take a look at that first.
For the ones that were in Sturgis, that seen the Hells Angels.
And the incident that went down.
Only thing I got to say, fuck the Hells Angels.
What? These guys are out of their minds. And you guys know the Hells Angels have a pretty big presence out there in Sturgis. It's kind of like, you know, they're staples out there. They're always there. That's like their spot. So these guys are crazy. They are literally crazy.
For the ones that were in Sturgis, that seen the Hells Angels.
And the incident that went down.
Only thing I gotta say, fuck the Hells Angels.
Fuck the Hells Angels.
What? Okay, so they're talking like that, right? Okay, they're talking like that. Real tough guy shit. But then watch how they move in Sturgis. They move with the police. Police surrounding them. There's got to be like 10 cops surrounding them. And that's how they move in Sturgis. These guys are scared to death. Look how many cops are around these guys. Real tough guys, right? These guys might as well join the force. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cops surrounding them. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cops. I thought they go anywhere they want. They don't care. And then they want to talk like this, all reckless. What?
For the ones that were in Sturgis, that seen the Hells Angels.
And the incident that went down.
Only thing I gotta say, fuck the Hells Angels.
Fuck the Hells Angels.
Oh, I don't know if they'll be talking that big tough guy shit for long. I mean, the Hells Angels are pretty deep up there in Sturgis. These guys are out of their mind. So if you guys haven't seen the show from yesterday where I said rest in peace to Tweedledee and Tweedledum, I'm sure I'll be doing a show like that shortly. So we'll just save that thumbnail for when the time comes, because I'm sure that their day is going to arrive. But anyway, today, well, let's talk about a couple other things. We'll talk about the guy who was killed in police custody. The suspect, alleged to have killed a woman and shot 2 officers, died after being captured. 39-year-old man arrested for a shooting in Virginia that left a woman dead and 2 police officers wounded has died after being captured and suffering a medical emergency, police said. The suspect, Sean Booker, was taken into custody around 8:24 a.m. on Thursday by police in Portsmouth, Virginia, following a brief standoff with officers in which he sustains superficial cuts to his arm. According to a statement by the Chesapeake, Virginia Police Department, Booker was taken to the hospital in Portsmouth, where he was treated for his injuries and turned over to the police department, according to a police statement. While at the hospital, Mr. Booker experienced a medical emergency and later died, police said in a statement without further comment. Of course, they don't have anything else to say. It is unclear Thursday afternoon on what caused Booker's death, which is under investigation by the Virginia State Police. Of course it is. Booker was wanted in a shooting that unfolded Wednesday night in the Chesapeake on charges of first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder of a law enforcement officer, 3 counts of use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and discharging a firearm into an occupied building, police said. Chesapeake officers responded to a domestic assault call at an apartment around 10:30 a.m. or 10:30 p.m. local time Wednesday and found a woman with a gunshot wounds, authorities said. Upon arrival, officers heard a woman inside the residence screaming for help. Police said in a statement, as officers attempted to breach the front door to render aid, an unknown suspect began shooting at them through the door from inside the apartment. 2 officers were struck by gunfire. Police quickly identified the suspect as the shooter as Booker, who fled the apartment. Police launched a manhunt and announced that Booker was armed and dangerous. The woman was found wounded in the apartment and taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. The 2 officers suffered non-life-threatening injuries and were taken to the hospital for treatment. So this guy just turns up dead, huh? Nothing to see here. You could just go home now. Of course. Of course. It's pretty wild. So, a series of motorcycle deaths in North Jersey following a trend for the summer months. A 26-year-old man was killed on August 3rd when his motorcycle collided with a Jeep in Mount Olive. The tragic crash marks only the latest in a number of fatal motorcycle collisions that have occurred in North Jersey over the last few months. Motorcycle crashes tend to increase during the warm spring-summer months, according to an analyst of Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which found that almost 60% of motorcycle fatalities between May and September. On August 1st, Frank J. Fee, 24, of Middletown, former assistant wrestling coach for Don Prep, was killed after his motorcycle collided with a Kia, causing him to be ejected from the bike. At least 3 local motorcyclists were killed in July, including a 25-year-old Chandler Dipple, who was struck by a Toyota in Little Ferry July 2nd. The driver was charged with making an improper left turn. So if he's charged with making an improper left turn and he kills someone while they're on their bike, does he get charged with manslaughter too? Just curious. A motorcyclist was killed and a passenger was injured July 21st in a crash on Route 120 near the American Dream Mall, authorities said. Additionally, on July 24th, an Oak Ridge man was ejected from his motorcycle on Cozy Lake Road. The man, 57-year-old Peter Joyce, died the following day as a result of his injuries. Overall, motorcycle fatalities have been seen as dangerous jump in the United States over the past several years. For the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, reporting 6,335 motorcyclists were killed in 2023. This number represents 15% of all traffic fatalities that year and is the highest number of motorcyclists killed since 1975. Between 2014 and 2023, New Jersey saw 6,037 traffic fatalities, 13% in which were motorcyclists. According to the national, motorcycle fatalities were consistently increased on a year-to-year basis, aside from a brief drop in 2017 and 2019. That's when COVID was happening, right? But damn, 6,335 people were killed in 1 year. That's a lot of people. The continued increase in motorcycle fatalities is especially troubling, given the most categories of traffic fatalities decreased from 2022 to 2023, while motorcyclists' death continued their dangerous climb. They said in a statement on the company's website, As we all take to the roads more frequently during the warmer weather, drivers must keep in mind and stay alert and aware is critical to improving safety, especially as motorcyclists can be more difficult to see because of their size. In the wake of these tragic crashes, with several weeks of beautiful weather still ahead, let's take a look at some real general safety information, both for motorcyclists and other drivers. You have to be aware of your surroundings. Here's a safety tip for motorcyclists. So, the president of the Riding Academy in New Jersey has been teaching motorcyclist safety courses since 1994. When teaching a class, he tells his students not to be dependent, but to be proactive, especially in an intersection. In 2023, according to the NHTSA, 37% of motorcycle fatalities occurred at intersections. First thing is, motorcyclists don't see us because we are small, or motorists don't see us because we are smaller than vehicles and not as wide. So we kind of get lost in the traffic mix. The other thing is, when the motorists do see us, they have a hard time judging our approach speed because we're a small vehicle. When approaching a hot intersection or an intersection where there is cars waiting to pull in front of you, he teaches his students to cover up, which means to put your hands in front of the bike brake lever and your foot on the rear brake pedal. This shortens your reaction time, in which you will also shorten your brake distance. Additionally, he tells his riders to watch the front tires of nearby vehicles, because if you see those tires start turning, that means the car is probably going to be going. A lot of times motorcyclists will look at the drivers, and the driver will look right back at you and may not see you. May see through you, or may have a hard time judging your approach speed. So we don't tell them to be dependent. You have to be proactive. The best tips we give our students, if they follow the advice, it will keep them safety. It will keep them safe to avoid crashes. Just be aware of your surroundings. So let's talk about this real quick. So this is Jessica Kent. She's a YouTuber, TikTok. She has over 1 million followers. She was in prison for drugs, I think. And she ended up having a baby while she was in prison. That's her claim to fame, right? She came on the internet, started telling her story all over the place. She gets into these relationships with these toxic people. Well, she's toxic too, but she finds these dudes and they always go bad. Her relationships, she started dating this guy, the guy with the peep tattooed on his forehead, Burner 420. And the relationship before that she was in ended bad. The one before that ended bad. And she brings it to the internet. She talks about how they abused her and she's the victim, and it's always the same shit. So usually the way you leave a relationship and go into another relationship, usually it's going to end the same way. And that's exactly what happened here. So she started doing content with this dude. They started dating. Boom. They move in with each other. She moves to Utah from, I think, Illinois or Indiana or something like that. She's with him for about 2 years, close to 2 years. And all of a sudden, it goes bad. And they bring it to the internet. So he's telling people all these things, like she was drinking and she wasn't, because she claims to be in recovery and all this shit. Says she was drinking. She never helped anyone. She's an alleged liberal. She loves Kamala and all her, and so they started going back and forth. And started making videos. So the police call her one day and they tell her to chill out, like stop making content about him, just leave him alone. Allegedly, she didn't listen because she's in prison. She got arrested for 6 counts of violating a protective order, and she's in some deep shit. So she's probably going to be there for a while. And she was acting real cocky on the phone with the police officer because she recorded it. And I don't know, maybe it's a different law out there in Utah about recording phone calls. She could be in trouble for that too. Who knows? But there's a lot of things that are going to be dropping about that. But stay tuned for that. That's a dumpster fire that a lot of people are watching. Frederick, what's going on? Rob, how are you? I don't know if that will fit a tombstone. Who knows? Hey, Sleepy Joe, what's going on? Mike, how are you? It's all the people on their phones. People aren't paying attention 100%. You know how many people I pull up to when I see them on their phone? Or they're not taking off at a light, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And I look, and they're on their phone. A lot of people texting and driving. This shit's really dangerous. Hardwire, what's going on? So, the topic at hand. Today we're talking about what does 81 mean to the Hells Angels? I didn't know what it meant at first. Had no clue. So what does 81 mean to the Hells Angels and why do they use it? To the outside world, 81 might look like just a random number, but inside the world of the Hells Angels, the largest motorcycle club in California, it holds real weight. It's kind of a shorthand. It's short for 81 is short for HA, the initials of the Hells Angels. This clever bit of biker code lets members and supporters represent the club without needing to display the full name. You'll often see it printed on jackets, caps, baseball, shorts, jewelry, even tattooed on the skin. The use of 81 in the Hells Angel world goes far beyond just a stylistic choice for the club. It's a simple way to represent the Hells Angels without using the full name or logo. That's important because only full members are allowed to wear official Hells Angels name or the iconic Death Head logo. If you guys didn't know, like a lot of these different groups that are on Facebook, they're showing pictures with babies, with death heads, logo on, women with it on. That's not the case. Only full patch members can wear the death head logo. If you're a supporter, you cannot wear a death head logo or the full name, the Hells Angels. You can wear a support shirt that says support your local Hells Angels or support 81, but you're not going to see support people wearing a death head or the full name. And that's just the way it goes. Only full patch members can wear that. But you definitely see it around. So it's important because only full patch members are allowed to wear the official Hells Angel name or the iconic Death Head logo, both in which are copyrighted. Supporters, on the other hand, can wear Support 81 gear to show appreciation without crossing any lines. In a way, 81 is quietly says everything that it needs to be said, whether you're in the club or just a fan of it. So it says here, the path to becoming a Hells Angels member. The number 81 is kind of like a badge of loyalty for the 8 Hells Angels and worn with purpose. You'll spot it. Almost every piece of apparel the club sells on its official website. It's often paired with the red and white, club's official colors, creating a quiet but powerful way to show allegiance. Where did this all start? The Hells Angels was founded in 1948 by a group of war veterans in Southern California. And the name itself was inspired by a World War II bomber unit. As time passed, the structure began to form within the club's ranks. Almost like the military today, it's one of the big four groups of largest motorcycle clubs in the United States. Newcomers can't just walk in and join. They have to earn their place by going through stages like hang around, probationer, prospect, and eventually full patch member. To obtain a final rank, members need to be voted in with a complete unanimous vote. And to even qualify, you need to own a bike that's over 750 cc's and commit to the lifestyle. Once you're a Hells Angel member, loyalty isn't optional. In breaking the code, you have consequences, such as members of the club no longer can associate with you. And we all know who can't associate with the club anymore. Chuck Zito. He's one of them. He was in the club for how long? And once they put you out bad, no one can talk to you. It does not matter how long you were in the club. It doesn't matter how much loyalty you showed. None of it matters. If they put you out bad, you're out bad. You can't talk to any members. And if they talk to you and people get caught, you get booted out too. That's the way it works. So the global reach of the Hells Angels, beyond the road, the Hells Angels have built a global identity over the years, with 275 chapters in Europe alone and its presence on every continent except Antarctica. The club's reach is massive. Despite their outlaw image, some chapters are involved in charity rides and gift donations and giving back to their communities. Besides the number 81, the Death Head logo, and their iconic symbols, the group also follows a strict patch system, where each patch symbol or rocker represents something important, such as members' rank, role, and region they belong to. These patches are earned and carry serious meaning within the club. The Hells Angels' distinctive style, black vest, red and white colors, and the use of 81. But as we starting to see, some of the members wear denim. That's the pagans' iconic symbolism. So why are some of the Hells Angels members wearing denim now? It's weird. A lot of people are like, what? What the hell is that? But you will see members of the Hells Angels with denim vests on. And people are confused by it. Like, what? And you'll see some pagans that wear black vests. It's just, I don't know. I guess it's a preference. Maybe it's not mandatory. I don't know. As they influence pop culture, fashion, and even music. Still, those inside the club and these symbols are a way of life. And they closely tied by the rules they live by. So it's pretty wild. Let me see if I can find the video of the guy in the denim. Because people were confused by that. They're like, what the hell? They're like, why is a Hells Angel member wearing denim? Because everybody knows that the Hells Angels always wear leather. And I mean, different countries do different things, you know? Sometimes you'll see like Versace and Louis Vuitton In a lot of places like Australia and things like that, you'll see that a lot. Belgium used to have denim. I guess back in the day they used to wear denim too. Quite a bit. But as we all know, the majority of people that are in that club wear leather. So obviously it's not mandatory, right? So people seen this picture and they were like, what? But I guess back in the day, they did wear denim quite a bit. I mean, a lot of the older pictures, but a lot of people switched over to leather vests. So it just had people a little confused when they seen a person wearing denim. Because it's not something you see all the time, but back in the day, all you would see is leather. But a long time ago, all you would see is denim. And it must have switched at some point. And maybe some people prefer denim over leather. On a show coming up, I'm going to be talking about all of the video games that portray all these clubs. And if you're a part of one of these clubs, I want to know, do these video game creators have the permission to put these motorcycle clubs in the games? Because there are tons. The Hells Angels, the Mongols, the Pagans, the Banditos, they're all in these video games. And I'm going to show them to you. And they have some of their rivalries in the video games, and I'm going to show you that. But normally this is what you see when you're out and about. But you're starting to see people bring back the denim. But you guys know the Pagans used to only wear denim. That would be the only thing that they would wear. Calvin, what's going on? If you live in the desert, you'll wear denim. The whole hash tastes like peach. It was good. Maybe HA because it bent their name out, and that's why they called the Big Red Machine. It's a corporate machine. Yeah, the Pagans and the Vagos are the main ones with denim. Hey, Jamie, what's going on? Thank you for joining me today. He said I smoked hash smuggled from Belgium in the fella back in the 90s. A lot of fanboys. Every club has number 81, HA, 15, 16, Pagans. It's the letter of the alphabet based on their name. Yeah, a lot of them use the names. Mustang Mike, what's going on? We got a lot of people piling in. You're up to number 1 on the live returns. That's dope. I appreciate it. We got a lot of content on the way. I'm going to be bringing you guys some good stuff. If you guys haven't seen the interview I did with Keith Rovier, you got to check it out. It's pretty crazy.
Hey, everybody, this is Keith from the lightest side of true crime, and I am chatting with Staxx.
Hey, welcome to the lighter side of true crime with Kai the Hatchet-wielding hitchhiker and Keith Rovier. Smash, smash, smash.
Yeah, that one's dropping tonight. I'll play a couple shorts real quick. But if you join the membership, you can watch it now. I think I have 2 of them up now, so I'm waiting for these damn shorts to load. He interviewed all kinds. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, former inmates at the San Quentin death row. Who else? BTK. The selfie killer. If you guys know who that is, he interviewed her. Here, check out these.
But numerous, like I said, as far as because I mean, almost everybody that I've talked to, Robert Bardo's been on a few times. America's favorite stalker. He took the life of Rebecca Schaefer. At Arizona, there's Charles Reinhardt, one of the probably the most sought after true crime artists out there. He's and my house is filled with personal items. I have thousands of pieces of artwork. Well, he's probably one of the more famous ones for artwork, as you can kind of see some of the stuff that he does in death row in Arizona. There's a few of his pieces.
Wow, that's good.
So really, really detailed stuff. Robert Yates. I've been talking to Robert Yates a lot. I think in Washington, or I think Washington. And he does the most amazing origami. He's like, oh, I want to send you something. Send me some artwork and origami. He's like, I want to send you a swan. Now I got something like BTK, Dennis Rader. I have origami from him. I get a Christmas card from Dennis Rader. Origami roses. 6 or 7 folds. You get a rose and you get a little swan. So when Robert Yates says he's going to send me some origami, I'm thinking that.
A little swan thing, right?
Yeah. Well, this is his dragon he recently sent me.
Oh, my God.
The swan's basically the same thing without the big tail.
Yeah.
He'll sign it.
Now, what is he there for?
He miraculously survived. Ended up. Not the only reason got caught up is she took a selfie, and friends of hers, one journalist or blogger, I should say, and somebody else, she was sending pictures of them as she was trying to get away from the cops, even while the cops had her at gunpoint. She wanted to go out with a blaze of glory, and they kind of talked her out of doing that.
Wow.
And then so got arrested, and she just, and the way she said it, I asked her about why you took the selfie, and she's like, I knew he's going to get caught. I'm not going to go to prison. Some people have it rough in prison, especially serial killers, because she was a true crime fanatic before she went in. She was like, if I'm going in, and everybody's going to know my name. I'm going in with some popularity, so I'm not going to get lost. So I'm going to be known, I'm going to be remembered, so people would write me and, and just know who I am. And so that was the reason why she took it.
Can you explain what he did?
Yeah, multiple murders, tons of murders. I mean, he's one, he buried the bodies outside of his bedroom window. So you just kind of think about it, necrophilia, the whole 9 yards. And again, another guy, he hasn't been on the podcast, but another guy where just talking to him, it's like your best friend. You just would never know. And what a lot of people don't realize is that when you have some of the mental, now there's evil people in the world. I've written a few books and I talk about this a lot. I don't really talk to quote unquote evil people who do evil things. I like to focus on people who have brain abnormalities who do evil things. If you're like a gang member or something, blood in a crypt, it's not really my thing, That's just the life you're brought up in. I'm more focused on psychopathy, brain abnormalities, autism, traumatic life events that make people snap. And that's who I really like to focus on. And with some of these men, like the Happy Face killer, Keith Jesperson, he's getting a lot of press lately. Have you heard of the Long Island serial killer, Rex Sherman?
Yes. Yeah, I follow his case too.
Well, he went viral because Keith had asked me, numerous serial killers, including Wayne Adam Ford, Keith has written these guys, and they'll write back, pen pal a little bit. Arthur Shawcross used to be pen pal with, wrote Charles Manson. Well, he asked me to give him Rex Sherman's address in jail. He's not in prison, obviously he hasn't got sentenced. So I gave it to him. Well, Rex wrote him back, if you remember the news. That went viral. because Keith, one of his victims, got identified. He was convicted of killing out of Florida, but they found the girl's name. So as the detectives flew up to Oregon, talked to him about it, he had mentioned that Rex wrote him back. So that went crazy viral. He's been on my podcast, I don't know, 10, 12 times, if not more. So we did a podcast of him talking about it. And my show went viral because he's talking about it.
So if you want to see that full interview right now, go to Patreon. You can see the full thing. Or if you join the membership on YouTube, you can watch part 1 and part 2. I'll drop part 3 tonight or today. I'll drop it right after this. And I'm going to be dropping a lot of content, so stay tuned for that. Hardwire says, I know a lot of great people from all major clubs. I do too. I know quite a few from pretty much every club out there. Spoken to quite a lot of people. And there's a lot of absolute jerks. There's jerks exist in all clubs. They're in every crowd, 100%. There's always one, right? Patreon, yes, I do have Patreon, and Patreon has a lot more content, a lot of stuff I just can't post on YouTube. So I think Patreon is a lot better than the YouTube membership. Just join Patreon. It's not that expensive. I remember he dug one for Mr. Dotson, 150 feet, where he struck water. I would be afraid to go down it. Screw that shit. Go check out the content. I appreciate all you guys. I got a lot of content on the way. We're going to be doing some pretty good shows for next week. I'll do a show tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some new interviews and getting some new people. And if you want to tell your story on Chatting with Staxx, just email me at BillStaxx2021 and I'll give you an opportunity to tell your story. As long as you're not full of shit like this guy. Or Caleb Harris. So if you want to tell your story, just come correct. Takes all kinds to make the world go round, right? But I appreciate you guys. Have a safe Friday. Hope you guys have a good one. Thank you for joining me. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's brother, sister, friend about Chatting with Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. And if you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too fucking bad. Start your own podcast. I appreciate all you guys. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.